All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, listen, man, we got the one and only licensed professional therapist, Yanetta Spring, on with us this morning. Yanetta, good morning.
Hey, good morning, y'all. How you doing this morning, Rickey?
Hey, we are so happy to have you this morning. It is almost February. That means if it was June, it would be almost July. Ain't that something? That's deep.
That's real deep. You taking it there early.
Right. Now we are so happy to have you this morning. What you working on today? What you gonna be discussing with us today?
Yeah. So, our theme for this month is New Year, Same You. So I just want to kind of continue that theme and just focusing on ways we could change and ways to honor things that are the same. But this week I saw an article in the LA Times, and it was talking about the importance of having a culturally responsive therapist. So I had to read it and see, what they were talking about. And I love that we're having this conversation about having a culturally responsive therapist.
Right.
Because, a culturally responsive therapist, just so you know, understands that no two individuals are the same, right? They're open to understand what your experience is like for you. They understand your values, and they incorporate this into their therapeutic work with you.
Right.
Right? Because it takes a lot to understand, like, the nuances of culture. And culture really does impact our mental health, right? So today I just wanted to share that and share, like, it's important to be picky, when you're choosing your therapist, to make sure that they're culturally competent, that they're affirming and understanding of some of the challenges and struggles that you have individually. Because one thing about this, I saw a statistic that said that 80% of American psychologists are white. Right. So, like, white culture is the dominant culture, in our country. So imagine that, like, being a black person or being, from a different background and seeking therapy, and 80% of the people that you have to choose from may or may not understand.
Right. Understand the struggle and understand everything that you've been through and just cannot connect. And I have heard a lot of people say, hey, I wasn't feeling that therapist, and you thinking like, okay, they just don't want to go to therapy. But now I really get it and understand, because you have to sit down and have a conversation, especially when it's something so deep and so personal with somebody that really understand you and can kind of been through some of the stuff you've been through.
Yeah, for sure. It's not, we look at that like people don't want to heal, people don't want to get the help, or like they're resisting therapy. But it is very hard to sit in a space and go deep with somebody. And I always say how deep we go in therapy depends on how comfortable we feel. And if we don't feel comfortable in the space or feel like that person understands us or wants to understand us, then we're not going to go there. So I'm super, excited that we're having these conversations. So I want to share a few things. Like, if you are looking for a therapist, or if you found a therapist, this is the reason why I created the Groundbreakers BIPOC EMDR therapy directory, for this reason, so that you can find a black or brown therapist that knows how to integrate EMDR, and they're available to you. You don't have to, search too far. But these are some questions you can ask, a therapist that you're interested in, if they don't look like you, or even if they do. Have you worked with black people before?
Right.
That may sound odd, but, like, have you worked with the LGBTQ plus community before? Have you worked in the area that I'm dealing with? I want to know your competence level. And then, how do you treat this population? So when you work with this population, how do you treat them? You can ask them what their opinion is on certain things, like anti-racism or social justice or immigration. And then if you have a person that has a different cultural background than you, really being able to ask them, how do you go about educating yourself, about these different topics, so that kind of where they are, and see if you feel comfortable, So those are some of the things that I have that you can kind of ask and look out for. But there are several directories that are specifically geared to various culture, races, and identities. And I'll list some of those on my social page if y'all want to check them out.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you so much. And we want everybody to know that this is not a replacement for therapy, but we're just trying to get you to go to therapy and get the help that you need. Yanetta Spring, let everybody know how you can be reached.
Yeah, so you can find me on all social platforms at Yanetta Spring. You can text the word SPRING to 55444 if you want to get your self-care resource. Or you can check out the groundbreakerstherapy.com to get to the therapy directory to find a therapist in your area.
All right, y'all. Hey, thank you so much. That's good right there. So today's topic is helping you find the right therapist, because you can't have therapy if you don't have the right one. That's awesome today. Thank you so much for joining us today. Y'all give it up and show your love for Yanetta Spring. Thank you so much.